Thanks all of you. Namaste, namaskar. Thanks for joining this webinar. We will be covering this whole webinar in two parts. First part will be the presentation part, and in the second part, I will be taking up all your relevant questions and answers. So before we start, I would like you to read this disclaimer first, that this presentation or webinar is limited to the scope of astrology and Vastu only. It is not a financial, economic, or any legal advice. So viewer discretion is advised. So take it healthy with a learning aptitude, open mind, so that we can really enter into the time zone, peek into the future, and see what is hidden for us in terms of astrology, in terms of business. So I'm starting this webinar. Thanks again for coming. The main topic of today's webinar would be, is COVID-19 a recession, or are we in this time in a recession mode? So naturally, with this lockdown period, what will be the financial world after this COVID-19? And when we should expect it to be over in terms of health and business, and which business sectors will revive first and how they will revive. So we will also look into the major segments, major indices and commodities of India and world economy by the method of timing. So it is time who will decide, and these all data which I am presenting here are back-tested data. So I will explain it in the coming time. Before that we start understanding the recession, let us understand what are the dates which are connected with coronavirus or COVID-19 and how they have come true. Actually, it all started nearby 27th of September and will end by 20th of April 2020. When this is why, because Rahu, a malefic planet, was in Ardra, Germany. Gemini, third house. Third house is the house of communication, traveling, negotiations, tie-ups, linkings, confidences. So what we have seen is that they all have stopped, and the peak started when Saturn also started its journey in Rahu in 17th of January, and it ended on 2nd of February. We can see how these dates are important with COVID and how something majorly happened on these dates. The next date, important date, was on 25th of February when Pluto started in Capricorn, which is 8th of Rahu, and it just started shaking the whole world. And 10th of January, this is the time when the first reports they start coming to the world from China that there is a epidemic which is happening, a disease is coming. This was the time when Jupiter connected with Rahu. 28th of March and again on 22nd of March, Mercury made trine to Rahu. This is the time when India got activated and we just asked for Janta curfew. And 14th of April, Mercury is going to square with Rahu. 17th to 30th March, Mercury was in the star of Rahu. And on 5th of April, Jupiter conjuncted Pluto, that is the life, Jeevakarka, it connected with Pluto, and whole of the India unexpectedly celebrated a kind of a Diwali, or welcomed the life force to the universe. Now is an important period coming, which is from 14th of April till 27th of April, when Sun would be transiting in Ashwani star, Mesha Rashi. Ashwani are the physicians of God, and we can expect some physicians or scientists or medicines may come in this period, which can really help this world. These are some more important dates which are connected to this particular situation. One thing is, I'm foreseeing around 16th of April when Rahu is conjuncting natal Mars. It can really be a disruptive force which can really bring military or communal fights or agitations to India. And on the 6th of May, the Rahu of the natal chart of India, which is the independence chart of India, is having 12th aspects, which is also a negative emotion. So there can be some tensions, disturbances, air disturbances also. And we all know that somehow this epidemic has an air connection also. And these are the further dates which we will be seeing. 20th and 21st of March, we are seeing this solar eclipse. 21st of June, solar eclipse, which will cause a major blow to some head of the nation or war-like situation or violence. 27th April, when Pluto will get retrograde. 12th of May, when Saturn, and 15th of May, when Jupiter will get retrograde. And here would be the time when we will start the reverse journey of this disease or this particular situation. 24th of June, we will find Neptune retrograde, and in July, Saturn and Rahu both will be now switching their gears reversely. On 15th of August, Uranus would be retrograde, and in September, finally, what will happen is Saturn and Jupiter will get direct, and Rahu will change its sign. So finally, what we are foreseeing from the astrological perspective is that this whole thing should be over by September, and here we are in the month of May, June. We are seeing or perceiving that they should start changing the present rhythm. This is the chart of eclipse, which is going to happen on 20th of June. So 2020. And we can again see that this arc of this solar eclipse would be starting nearby China and going from this Asia to South Africa. So this would be the belt particularly which will be affected by this solar eclipse. So we really have to be very cautious during this time, particularly in this region, because somehow this region is very effective. And along with Europe, you can see above there in this green color. So we have to be very cautious in this period of eclipse in this zone particularly. So there is always a question whether this type of particular situation could be analyzed before, or was astrology telling something. So these are the few things which I would like to bring to your notice, that yes, these things were there, but it will result to a world lockdown or create a World War I or World War II like situation was really not analyzed in that manner. So what happened actually, this is that Jupiter moved into Capricorn. The purpose of these planets, they are very clear. Jupiter moving into the Capricorn brings more life to Earth. Its purpose is to heal the Mother Earth, and which we are already seeing that somehow the Earth is having healing also. Uh, Recently, we find that ozone layer is also repairing. Fishes beneath the sea, they have started coming up. Wildlife is flourishing. So that is the effect of Jupiter in Capricorn, Jivkarka. And Saturn in Capricorn, it's a very important combination. It starts everything from the base. It's the karma sthan. All the things they have to start from the scratch or the point one. It is the dominance of Earth. People, they start their life from 0 point. So Pluto in Capricorn was also noticed, where the purpose of it was to shake the earth, to flip the coin, to make the things reverse, to start from the beginning. Rahu in Gemini to the Horus, that is from efforts to assets, and it creates a very unique kind of a circumstances, which is survival of the fittest. Ketu in Sagittarius to Scorpio move to final liberation, and Pluto in Capricorn results in sudden shake of planets. So all these six things, six major planets, outer planets, they were already signifying that something important is happening, because they all were coming at the same time. And whenever a particular set of time, particular planets, they come and signify the same things, the happenings become inevitable. So let us understand, since this is a financial understanding we are going to have from astrology, let us understand what is a recession in the eyes of astrology. Actually, recession is a mass behavior. Whenever there are certain kinds of planets in certain position or certain degrees, people, they tend to think in a particular way, tend to behave in a particular way. And that is what is called boom or recession or a particular behavior. The recessions are not new. We are going to see this information in the coming slides. They are happening since existence. So we have a very good data. I will show it to you now. The major thing which we have to understand from this is economy is also run in cycle like life. As life originates and dies, cycle also originates and dies, and so do the financial cycles. Recession is also a fall and beginning of a new cycle or a new trend. And the beauty of it is that yes, financial cycles can be analyzed like life cycles. Recession, it all depends upon the speed of the planets, the declination of the planets, and how the universe is in a particular condition, how the subconscious mind behavior is happening. Throughout this presentation, I would be speaking this word very often, that history repeats itself. There is nothing new under the umbrella. Whenever the astrology is concerned, we know that nothing is new under the umbrella. Everything is changing. This is a changing universe. This is not a new universe, right? So this is what I was talking about, the history of recession. As we can see in this slide, that from 1800 to this 2000, 2020, there are several periods in the history of recession which we have a record of, and we can see how these recession periods have affect the humanity. And this is also the time when it is happening. So let us understand what is the analysis of this data from 1800 to now. So this is one of the position you must be wondering, and this is a very important position, how we analyze natural calamities and elements. In 1900, and on the left hand side of the panel, you would be seeing few lines. Pay attention to the red line. It is about air sign. Blue is fire sign. Green is earth sign, and this magenta is water sign. This is the placement of malefic planet Rahu, which we was discussing in the previous slides, the acting of Rahu. So what happened to the world when this planet was there in such positions? This is the data which we have analyzed from 1940 up till 2030. In 1911, a great porcupine fire happened. In that, we had 700 deaths. So that was a time when Rahu was transiting in fire element. In 1931, China flood happened when Rahu was in water, and we recorded 4 lakh deaths because of that position. And in 1935, Quetta earthquake happened. At that time, 60,000 that death happened, and that is the time when Rahu was in earth. And in this time of Corona, in this time of our financial market these days, Rahu was in water element. Rahu is now changing to fire element. It is in the sign of Gemini, air, and now it will be moving toward the earth sign. So this is how the information which we can trust is based upon the history. Again, I would say history repeats itself. You must be wondering another thing which is very important for us to look upon is the speed of the planets. You can see up till this period of February and March, the speed of the planets were at the peak. And from here, where my cursor is, the speed of the planets is started going down till September. And this is one phase which started from, which ending from March and to June and to September. So in this way, 3 phases are very important for us to look upon. What are the financial economical conditions we are having in March, then in June approximately, and finally in September. This would be the base of our analysis. Another major thing that you can see from this graph is, on the first graph you can see the declination. Declination is the inclined behavior of the planets, the nearest and the farthest distance they are from the planet. You can see how they start falling from the month of February. After February, this declination is declining down, 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 down till May or June. And from there it starts rising up, and it gives a good rise when it reached to the position of September and October onwards. So there we can see that this position is now also coinciding with the dates which we discussed before. Here is an important information for all the business owners. So what happens is that all the businesses on this planet Earth, they are basically connected to some element, be it astrology or Vastu. We work with the elements like fire, earth, air, and water. So whenever there is a particular positioning of the universe, the particular positions, when they are more in a particular element, they create a particular kind of a rise or fall in business. Let's see how. Let's see this second line where this red line is. We can see that this fire is missing in 2020. It's exactly start missing from December, and it is missing up till 2022 beginning. Only after the first quarter of 2022, this red energy or the fire energy will come. Fire is passion, fire is courage, fire is innovations, fire is the zeal. So this is what is missing in the universe at that time. Another important thing is to be observed is that as we see near the beginning of 2020, the blue line, which signifies the earth element, is at the peak. And only after the 2021, it is going down. Similarly, what we have seen very interesting is that major planets were there in air signs. And see, from the month of February, this air has rising up, and before that air was not there. And this is the reason that everything which is connected to air, maybe communication, maybe traveling, maybe technology, they all flip the coin. Everything becomes new. And the last thing is that on the last line, see the water sign, this magenta line, and see how water is also declining from the month of May, June. It is going down. So we are really skeptical about the monsoon also. So looking at this information, we can understand what is the type of our business, what are the clients we should be looking for, how we should be using these elements in our business for a new thing. There is nothing called recession, it is only called change. There is nothing called end, it is only a change, a transformation. And we can use this knowledge positively to change the way we do business. So you must be wondering what is the proof of it. So this is why I have brought this chart. See, this is a historic chart of silver metal from 2006 to 2022. And I would like to draw your attention to the period 2011 to 2012. And see, when the fire was at the maximum and water was zero, the silver reached the sky. This was the highest point the silver reached. And this is only because of the highest element of water and the exhausting of water element. So in this way, we can really not get discouraged or scared that some element is not there, some business opportunities are not there. It is that we have to find the new avenues of business opportunities where we have to strike right. The smart people, they work right. There is an old saying in astrology that foolish, they obey planet, and wise men, they control them. So this presentation is more focused to give you a positive understanding of the market. Don't worry about the recession, don't worry about the fall. Think positive and see which are the areas from where you can have the maximum possibilities, maximum positive energies for your business. Now we are coming to the most important part of this webinar. We will be presenting you some graphs to show the evidences which we have just learned. These graphs are based upon the historical data, two types of data, the historical data of the particular indices and also the data which is provided astronomically by the NASA. And these are back-tested data with the neural net technology. Neural net technology is one of the fastest technology which the world has after blockchain, what you have said in, which we use in cryptocurrency. And these are all the spectrum analysis. Projections lines of major indicators are connected and with tours and travel industries and all other industries for that matter now. Now, the last point is we must understand the difference between projections and trading graphs. These are not trading graphs, these are projections lines. These are projected highs and lows. So let's get started. This is the first projector line of VIX. VIX is the most sought after indicator in financial world. Generally, when the market is down in a recession mode, this goes up. It acts vice versa. And whenever it is in a beautiful condition, good and healthy condition, economy is growing, VIX fall. So you can see this line also that it is falling up till July of 2020 and then making again a rise, and then it starts making curves up, downs, up, downs, up, downs, which denotes the healthy atmosphere. The next important indicator of the financial world is crude. And I can predict very confidently that in the next world, the crude will be the major indicator of the economy. This is what I analyzed in February. This is what I analyzed in March, the second graph, which is on right hand of you. And on the top of you, you can see a blue graph. Crude has already started jumping. When I analyzed this, it was about 21 point something. Today, I think 24 or something is there. So crude has already started its journey. Again, it will be very important for us to know that there is a fall around August and September, and then again crude is rising. Rising of crude simply means the start of industrial activities, pharma activities, and transport activities. So this is a very good indicator. And then we will have another fall in crude up till March of 2021, and then it will again rise. So this healthy curve will start happening in the first half of 2020. And this is a projection line for USD INR. Already we have seen this behavior happening, and now in the April we are perceiving it to rise for a fall in August. And from there, August and September, it will rise again, because I believe from there the economy will start running its show, economy will start operating. Another remarkable index to watch would be COMEX. Yes, it has also started showing rise as I analyzed in mid of February. And today crude is on our highest level again. Third time it has touched the top, but now I am seeing its fall. There is a specific reason of its fall. It will fall because the major economies, they start again. And I believe America will save its dollar and try to sell gold and make its currency the international status as it is, because it is the world economy indicator. I am seeing a fall in COMEX again, and it's very interesting that it is again starting from that area of June 2020. So then this also confirms the dates which we have just looked upon. Another beautiful indicator, strong indicator of the economy would be silver. Why? Because silver is not only having ornamental value, silver is having the industrial value. And when I analyzed this in March 2020, I was foreseeing it to rise up till September. So this has already started happening in silver. So in this, that way also, this indicator is also indicating the perfect example which we can trust upon. And this is another important indicator, not connected to us, but connected to the world. This is USA capacity utilization, and they have their data available from 1967. And it says that approximately from this period of September onwards, it will start rising again. It is not only that they are seeing this fall, rather they are seeing this fall from 2019. And this would be the time, this last quarter of 2020, when it will be strike again and rise again. And see what is the coincidence we are having from all indicators, and especially from USD. This is an indicator of Shanghai Composite China Market SSE. Somehow it is not behaving according to the world others economy. They faced a fall, but soon they rise and then again they make a fall. So they just completed a curve, a wave. A wave is completed, and now they are moving to the another wave. So they are doing something else in their economy which is not in tune with the world economy. We have to be very vigilant about what this Shanghai Composite has to say in future, because the virus also started from China. Now we will move to the Indian financial markets. Here I would request all of you to take a pen and pencil and please note down all this important information, because they will be helpful in your business to take decision, as we all are in India. My first indicator would be Nifty 50. Why I brought this information on the first is that I wanted to say the fall of Nifty was predicted. Was it predicted before or something unusual happened to economy? Then I will say no, the fall was very much expected. Just see this line of 16th February 2020 and see these two colors variation from this gray and this pink. When this pink, this is an astrological combination, I don't want to go into such details. When this pink line changes, we just see that starts falling. And this line somehow is ending on 25th of July 2020. So as we reach to the end of August or July, we can see the revival of this index very much. Major thing, see the last line which is below, a line is changing in this mid of June and July when Rahu would be entering this water. So the thing is, the first indicator we will get it within the June. From the June we will start understanding, yes, we are back. This is not that that we will keep on struggling with the economy or the financial positions. The lockdowns will be over and we can see this revival from this July. And this is the next graph of Nifty 50, which I analyzed approximately in December of 2019. And I was expecting this fall. See this fall of red line, this gray line, this blue line. I was already expecting this fall, right? But what was happening is every day Nifty was scaling high. It was on the peak. So we could not dare to sell at that point. But it was the indicator which was confirmed in December. You can see the variance of this white line and this pink line, two graphs divided all over. So this was already predicted and we were foreseeing a fall. But now the important thing is we are now thinking of a change in pattern. The first pattern we can expect in February, the second in June, and the next pattern we can expect Nifty again to rise from December. So this is the pattern which we are looking for. So this is the Nifty 50. Another important point of Nifty 50 is that yes, you can see on the right hand side graph, there is a approximate straight line. And as we cross this September-October period, the straight line starts going up. And this would be the period when Saturn will start its onward journey, the direct journey. Already what we have seen because of Saturn is that there has been mass movement in India. Labor or the working class or a particular community has gone back to their villages. they again have to come up, industry has to revive, industry has to take another steps, and then it will happen. So that is what the period I am looking for, that after September onwards, this will happen. And this is also shown in this neural net spectrum on the left hand side. You can see that after this rise, there will be a short covering will become coming, and people, they will find that they have to book profits, and after they book profit, then again it will start its journey again. And this is Indian VIX. Previously we discussed the VIX about the world. This is the Indian VIX, and this Indian VIX also shows that there is something happening around June, July, and also in the month of September to come. So again, these two periods, they are coming as an important time, and these will also be the period, I think, when the financial results of the major industries, corporates would be coming. So let's see what happens during these times. And this is also very interesting because this is the time of closure of financial markets, also some income tax matters and all. CS knows this better. Now, important thing to understand from this is about Nifty Auto. So what I can perceive after the revival of June, this auto segment is somehow going down. This auto segment will take some time to revive, which makes sense also, because not because of my own whims and wishes, but because of the understanding of economy also, that whenever the things happen, whenever the industry has to start, the auto or the luxury component market, they have to stay stagnize. So this may happen. So what I perceive from this is that from the month of June, July to the end of this year, auto industry can have this fall. This is one of the interesting index, Nifty Bank. What I foresee from this is, because this is a major indicator whereby all the banks are listed in this indicator, I see it arise from June onwards. For 1 month, there is some little profit booking, and then again it is going up to September and October. That simply means more money would be coming to the system. So this is a good indicator which can really indicate good financial positions of Indian markets. And this is Nifty Consumption Index. Nifty Consumption Index, we can see somewhat on the lower side, but important thing is it is not stagnant. Had it been stagnant indicator, then it would have been very problem for us. So this also simply means that the consumption market will keep on its natural highs and lows swings. Again, it is very important to note the time frame of October and the peak happening in September, and another things when we are having this down from June to August. So this consumption market, when comes down, simply indicates the rise or the start of an economy. This is a good indicator, and we will be keep on watching this indicator for some time in 2020. This is Nifty FMCG. FMCG market is on a very natural curves. They are happening very naturally, and they have started recovering already, and they are completing some waves. And this waves is from July to November, and then again rise and fall. This particular segment is the most important segment, which is showing one of the healthiest indicator, maybe on a lower side, because what we are seeing is higher lows over there. This is higher high, and this high is lower than it. We can see some, but I think this is a correction high which the graph is showing. So in that way, we can trust the FMCG markets to keep on going. And this is another interesting story. Nifty Infra. Any country economy, it starts with the infra. It based upon the infra. And I believe from the month of June, July, something majorly would come which will boost the economy, because banking was also boosting in this time, and we will see the infra going up. and it is having a constant kind of a rise in the future. Look at its downs. So downs are highs in this graph. So that simply means that Nifty infra or the infra industry of Indian economy would be recovering, and I'm optimistic about this. And this is Nifty IT. Actually, Nifty IT, what is happening is it is showing very sinusoidal curves. It is not showing any definite spectrum, but I think that this wave is completing since in Nifty IT. So IT industry also by the end of this year, I think should recover. It should start taking a new high. This is quantum analysis. Yes, this is media. Some of the businesses are very connected with media industries. Media is on its natural mode of lows and high. Only from the next year onwards, from May, we can see a singular up. By that time, it will be having its natural course of businesses available, opportunities available in the market, and we can trust this media information. Another thing which surprises me in the Indian market is somehow on pharma. I really don't know. I didn't understand why this pharma is going down. Why we are not picking up in pharma? What's happening to pharma? So, but we have this information only that it will be making a lower, higher high, and so we have to be very cautious, and we have to make new strategy in the pharma industry. Only once this things comes, the revival boot also, revival dose also, it is going down. Somehow it is in a position to maintain its peaks, but somehow this industry is not having any fresh inputs. So we have to be watching this indicator very carefully. And this is the news for reality states, builders, and all the reality market. Uh, I can see a complete fall in 2020, and only after the first half of 2021, we will see a rise. So not very optimistic about the reality market as such. Rather, we should be, if we are planning something in reality, we should be going to other sectors. And this is Nifty service sector, and this is a very positive approach, uh, very positive indication of service sector, that it has its natural curves happening, and these are very choppy curves. Choppy curves means that many things have started happening in the service sector. So I believe the government would be inducing new things into this service sector, and we will see many things happening. It will go with ups and natural ups and downs, which is the another way of universe to talk. Now, friends, I want to tell you one important thing. There is always a natural cycle is universe. Cycles are never regressive. They doesn't go backwards. They just move forwards. And this is the sequence of the cycle in the nature. I have classified it according to the businesses. So what I want from all of you is to please make a note of it. This is the list of businesses from 1 to 12. And these will be the businesses which will rise in maybe in some combination with another thing, or maybe in sequence. So what is the proof of it? From last some time, but we were saying that most of the indicators, or most of the businesses, they were on expenditure modes, losses, they were doing investments, loans were very high, they were on this last leg of the creative cycle, and suddenly this creative cycle has stopped, and we have seen that how this physical body has started coming up. This is only that only we are interested in our own self. Fitness industry is in boom, clothes and medical industry is in boom. The next boom would be coming to the food, bank, finance, and FMCG. And the third would be when the world starts its traveling, world starts its contact, communications, auto, crude, electronic, reality, entertainment, then medicines, daily businesses, and so on. So this would be the sequence of the businesses they are going to happen. So when you will be taking note of these sequences, then what will happen is you will be in a position to identify the right thing, the right business opportunity available for you, and you can strike right. And that is the success of a businessman. This is the latest data analysis by China about COVID. They say that they have started declining with this 45-degree angle. To us, it is a 15, 12, 27-day cycle, which is a moon draconic cycle. And somehow we have entered into this second zone of cycle in India also. The world says something different, but let's see, let's pray. My last word for this webinar is that it is an astrological advice, no claims at all on financial matters or legal matters. This astrology is subject to cyclical analysis, and I want you to consult individual horoscopes also, because what I've seen from it today also, many categories they are earning, many people they are earning. It's not that everybody is losing. There is a whole sum of people who are earning. So plan long term as per the astrology or as per the projections lines which I've shown you. Focus on preliminaries first and then only go for high values. Don't create liability more than a level. Financial markets are subject to risk and rewards, so there is no guarantee about it. Follow the law of the land. Be safe. Have a great financial luck ahead. And now I will open to the questions if you have any.